Hashtag Track Addict with DecalLabs Group 3 League. We are here for round number 3 at Suzuka. Guys had a bit of issues technical wise on the night, so only one round, which is going to be the endurance race, 24 laps here of the figure of 8 circuit. Should be a cracker. You've just seen the grid in the previous graphic, but it is Rob Adams who is on pole position, followed by Sean Core. These two normally have good battles, but that Mercedes should get a good start off the line. But let's find out. As we prepare to go racing, the revs build up, and it is green here at Suzuka. It's not a great start from Rob, having to start from second gear because the GTR lights his wheels up like you wouldn't believe. Bit of movement in the background there. And there's Friedman. Behind him is Bristow as they go through turn 1 and up through the S's for the first time of 24. Hancock's there in the number 6 Lexus, a car change for the GoPro team. Not getting on, he's all over the back of Ellis here as they head up towards Dunlop Curve for the first time. Milden in 9th. With Edwards behind him in the McLaren, and Hill looking to go down the inside of Ellis into Degner 2, starting the move through Degner 1. A fantastic move on from the Motorcraft number 24 Ford machine as it's light astern into the hairpin. That's Hardy down the inside of Dean. Dean in the number 22 Lexus, Poppy's machine. At the back we've got Ross. Meanwhile at the front, Cool leads Tompkinson. There he is, followed by Adams, and then Friedman. Bristow is in 5th. He's got Ellis behind him. Up to 130R. Still line astern, although Hogan just ahead here of Piper. Piper looking to make a move down the inside of Hogan. That is Friedman off at the chicane. And the first lap is complete with Cool in the lead from Tompkinson. This battle, that is Hardy on Piper, looking for a move. That GTR quick in a straight line. Probably the quickest car in the field in a straight line. Just not quite got enough of a straight there. As Hogan all over the back of Edwards as well. But Hardy down the inside of the S's. Turns to the outside. He's trying to keep it there for the inside of Dunlop Curve. Bit of door rubbing there through the Dunlop Curve, but Hardy gets it through. Not a lot Piper can do with that one. And so Hardy into 12th place through the Degners. This leading trio of the AMG Mercedes, followed by the Track Addict Nissan of Adams. There's Bristow. There's Ellis. Followed by Hancock's, and he's got McEwen behind him, and Hill is all over the tail of the Alfa Romeo. Hill goes down the inside through Spoon. And once again, Hill asserting that dominance on the inside line, not forcing the issue, but making sure when he's down the inside he gets the move complete. And there's the Ford up to 7th. There is Milden, number 27 machine. Oh, and that's Hardy just behind. There's Hogan, he's gone off as well. So Hogan down to 15th then. Now down to 16th there as Ross overtakes him. And I think he just gave him a bit of a tap into turn 1. Meanwhile, the Mercedes pairing trying to work together here on the Super Sauce for Cool and Tomkinson. Adams Super Sauce as well. Bristow on Super Softs, as is Hancock's. Hill on Super Softs as well. There's Ellis. Obviously Ellis has dropped behind his teammate. Oh, Ellis has dropped the back end. He's clipped the grass into Degner 1. It's sent him flying off into the gravel trap. He'll find the grass to try and get himself going again. But a lot of places lost. He's down to last there. Bit of a shame. He's having a good race, was Matthew Ellis. McEwen, the first man on road in on the medium tyres. Obviously they have to run the mediums for a certain amount of time. Maybe it's 25%, so 6 laps they have to complete on that set of tyres. Milden also on the medium. So these guys taking the pain of the mediums, even though they'll last longer, they're a lot slower than the super softs. So they're keeping in good contention here as they go side by side almost through 130R, and Hill gets past Hancock's through 130R, got the run out of Spoon. Hancock's may get a penalty for that, just running a little bit too much over the curbs as they head on to lap 4 of 24. Through the first corner. There's Milden, he's just fallen off the back end of McEwen. McEwen obviously with the Alpha's quite a nippy little car. There's Hardy out, he's going to get himself back into 9th, followed by Piper. Oh no, sorry, that's the number 52 machine. That is Edwards. So Edwards has Friedman behind. There's Piper. Dean is the number 22 car in 13th at the moment, but it is Cool and Tomkinson who lead the way in the Mercedes. They have a nice little gap here to Adams. Bristow in his Alitalia Alfa Romeo, he's got a 9/10 penalty to get rid of before the end of the race. Hill trying to chase him down. Hancock's having a great race in that Mazda. Number 6 Mazda Tenza for the GoPro team. And McEwen has Milden back on his tail through the S's. If they're not careful, they'll have Hardy behind. Because Hardy on the super soft tyres should have good pace. Yeah, running similar pace to these guys. through the Degners, up towards the hairpin. This is quite famous where Kobayashi used to put a dog on. Here comes Milden down the inside, very Kobayashi-like. Puts it down the inside, and that should be job done, because he'll keep the inside for the long right-hander towards Spoon. Fantastic little move from Milden. Not a lot McEwen could do about it, really. He left the door open, and Milden didn't say no to it. So here, the typical strategy of the two Mercedes, they're not fighting with each other. Cool and Tompkinson just looking to get a solid lead over the rest of the pack, so when they come in to do their first set of pit stops, they don't come out in too much traffic, because traffic really does kill your race at times. Oh, cool, moving around a little bit, so maybe he's feeling a bit of pressure here from Tompkinson, as Tompkinson looks down the inside now, and Nathan Tompkinson moves into the lead with the number 44 Mercedes, that colour changing stripe. Must have taken a lot of decals, because that would be the base paint of the car, so he's put a lot of matte black decals on that. There's Adams, Bristow, Milden. Hardy has now got past McEwen for 6th place. Friedman on the back of on the back of Piper? No, on the back of Edwards, sorry. This is number 52. There is number 99 of Edwards. No, I was right. I was right first time around. So we have our first lots of pit stops. We have Milden, we have Tompkinson, Cool, Bristow, a lot of action in the pits actually. And it's Tompkinson that comes out on top, followed by Cool. Adams is out in 3rd, Bristow 4th, Hill, who's already made his pit stop, has managed to go around the outside of Bristow through turn 1, and he claims 4th place. And Hancock's is now right on the tail of Bristow. He's gone to the medium tyres. Here we are with Milden. Down in 7th, he's ahead of Friedman. And it looks like McEwen down in 10th. And the number 41. There is the number 52 of Edwards. teammate of Piper in the number 99. Hogan in 13th at the moment in the number 7 machine. Followed by Dean, followed by Ross, who's now under attack here from Ellis, coming into 130R. The Ford looking down the inside, a bit of a wiggle for the Lexus. And Ellis gets the move done, he's into 15th. Bit of nudging as Ross tries to go around the outside to switch it for the inside for the chicane. Hasn't quite worked, and Ellis remains in 15th place. Fastest lap so far to Sean Call, a 1:58.813, a good time actually that, but he is some way behind his teammate of Tomkinson. Hill has Bristow behind here on lap number 8. Across the line. For the second sector, see GT Sport usually has it in 4 sectors per track. Through Spoon Curve, the number 24, trying to fight off the 48 of Bristow. On board with the Alfa Romeo. You'll have the slipstream through 130R, so there's a potential move to be made here into the chicane. A touch of the brakes, but Hill more confident through 130R, gives him breathing space, and Bristow can't make the move through the chicane. He's going to have to try and set him up. Maybe for turn 1. And got a good exit out of the chicane with the slipstream. Is it long enough though? Gradually closing in on the Motorcraft, number 24 Ford. No, Bristow decides better of it into this section. And there's Milden, he's passed Hancock's during the last lap or two. Hancock's getting on a lot better with that Mazda compared to the Lamborghini the GoPro team had at Lago Maggiore. There's Hardy in the number 18 Nissan. McEwen down in 9th at the moment. He's just ahead of Edwards as they go through the Degners. The Alfa was looking strong at Lago Maggiore. He's just not looking quite there for McEwen at the moment, but there's still a long time left in the race. This is only lap 9 of 24. Friedman has Hogan on his tail coming out of the hairpin. The number 7 GoPro driver against the number 8 Coca-Cola Porsche. Down the hill, up towards Spoon. Hogan braking a bit earlier, maybe looking to get a better run on the exit here. Can't quite do it, and that Porsche is a solid handling car. Very hard to compete with through the corners. Even on those medium tyres, he's got good confidence in the car. The battle for 4th is still raging on though between Hill and Bristow. Hill just running a bit wide, putting the rear left tyre on the Astro. Does upset the car a little bit, but he keeps hold of it. Keeps hold of 4th place for now. Through the S as they go. trouble with Hill. Back to the Alfa Romeo as we head through the Degners. Oh, Hill, just a bit of lag playing in that. Made it look like Hill went wide. You can tell Bristow very tentative, he doesn't quite know where that Ford is at the moment. As they head through Spoon for the 10th time. Quite a nice line that from Hill, using the outside curve, bringing it in. But Bristow now has the chance. That Alfa Romeo is a quick car in a straight line, especially in the slipstream. Hill feeling the need to go defensive as they head into 130R. Again, Bristow can't do anything into the chicane, and this is allowing Milden to catch up. Oh, Hill was in the pits. On lap 10, Hill was coming into the pits for his second stop of the day. Where is he going to come out? Who knows? Hardy has McEwen behind, followed by the two McLaren drivers of Edwards and Piper. There is Jake Hill in the number 24. He's come out in 13th, but he's got a fresh set of medium tyres now on his Ford. He heads through the S's. So we'll probably be expecting Hill in around lap 17-ish to get rid of those medium tyres. Meanwhile, Tomkinson is out in front and he is dominating this race now. He's got the gap to cool his teammate in the number 14 Mercedes AMG. Adams in the hashtag track addict. Nissan GTR. There is Bristow, followed by Milden. There's Hancock's. Hardy, who's now ahead of McEwen. She's made a move in the last lap. And McEwen really struggling with that Alfa around here at the moment. His tyres look shot. I can only imagine he'll be in the pits this lap around to get rid of them. Sean Cool is in the pits. Wicked little pit animation there for GT Sport. Tomkinson has done another lap though, so it'll be interesting to see how this undercut works for Cool. There's Hancock, yes, here comes McEwen as we thought. And there is Bristow, he's done another lap. Remember, the man we've got to look out for is the man in 10th place, Jake Hill. He's looking for a move on Friedman down the inside. Friedman old medium, so this really isn't his fight, so don't lose too much time. But Hill looking to make this undercut work as the race goes on. Cool came out in 5th place, just behind Milden and Bristow. Bob Bristow has a bit of a task in his hand now. He's got the Porsche of Ben Milden behind, who's on the soft compound of tyre. So looking to stretch his stint a little bit longer. I can see Bristow coming in this lap. He's running low on fuel. Whether he can get another lap out of it, I don't know, but the back end twitch is going on to the back straight up towards 130R. And Cool Sean Core makes the move on Milden. Gets the wheel on the grass a little bit, just twitches into 130R. Tompkinson in the pits. Should show just how much of an undercut this has been for Cool. Where's Tompkinson? Tompkinson's just leaving the pits now. There he is. And Cool hasn't really gained as much as I would have thought he would have. The undercut normally quite a powerful tool here in GT Sport with the Group 3s, but just not round here by the seams. It looks like Cool just got caught up behind Milden. Just a touch. Adams comes out with fresh super softs on, and Hill is in a comfortable fourth now. Milden has jumped Bristow. So Milden came in for another set of softs. Bristow has put the medium compound of tyre on his Alpha. A little bit of a battle here. This is, we're looking at Hancock's. He's being followed by McEwen, who has Edwards behind in the number 52 machine. McEwen on fairly fresh super softs, about a lap old I believe. Hancock similar sort of wear to McEwen. Edwards fresh super softs, and he's looking down the inside on the exit, not quite going to work. A little bit of a tap on the rear left quarter, but nothing too bad. They head down towards Spoon for the 13th time. Nearing a half an hour of time. We're at 26 minutes into the race. It's not an easy feat. This race is scheduled for about 50 minutes, which, even though it is a game, these guys do take this seriously, and they are concentrating every second of that 50 minutes. The only time they can afford to not concentrate as much is in a pit stop, and even then they've got to make sure they get enough fuel to make their next stint. Put too much fuel in, you'll lose time. Put too little, and you'll have to come in a lap earlier than you want, which could be the difference between gaining a position and losing a position in the race. But these three still line astern as they head into turn 1. Hardy in the number 18 Nissan. He's got Piper behind. And Hogan not too far away from that either. Friedman having a bit of a weird race. He's down the order in 13th. We saw him up there near the top 5 area. At times in Lago Maggiore, obviously finishing 11th and 7th in that one. He's just having a bit of a lonely race down in 13th right now. But this is all the proof you need. The two Mercedes dominating the race. Adams did put it on pole position, but just the launch of that GTR not good enough. I think had he managed to get the launch he needed. I've driven the Nissan. It's so hard to get off the line without traction control. Even with traction control, it bogs down a little bit. So very hard to get the starting procedure correct. Hill, in the meantime, has Milden behind through 130R, the Ford and the Porsche side by side up towards the chicane, and Hill lets Milden go in front of him now. Obviously Hill on the medium tyres, so he will be slower at this stage of the race. See Milden on the soft compound of tyre with less wear for good measure. But Hill, you can't really see the car because the car's probably one of the lowest cars on the grid. He'll just try to stick with him, maybe try and use Milden with a bit of slipstream so that he can almost secure this 5th place come the end of it. Because behind them is number 48 of Bob Bristow. He's on the medium compounder tyre as well, and Jake Hill has been eking that gap ever so slightly. Meanwhile, McEwen is in 7th, and he has Edwards all over his tail as they head down towards the Degners from the Dunlop curve. That McLaren just looking that much more planted round the corners. And he's also got better tyre wear compared to the Alpha. A bit of a tap mid-corner. Hancock's just behind them, so if anything goes wrong, he's there to sweep up some positions. But Edwards surely has to look to make the move, because he's losing time right now. There's a bit of a gap to Bristow, but ideally he needs to clear this Alfa Romeo. And he's looking down the inside of the exit spoon, side by side up towards 130R. This has just become a drag race. Who's got the faster car in a straight line? And it is the Alfa Romeo. Oh, McEwen putting a wheel on the grass, lucky not to lose the back end. Through the chicane for the 15th time. And Edwards not getting that right. You can see that he just put too much of the wheel on that apron. And just lost that bit of traction, and it's allowed Hancock's to have a look into turn 1. He thinks better of it though. Probably the wise idea. At this rate, we're going to start to have a bit of a battle up front if this continues between Tompkinson and Cool. The two Mercedes drivers, they've built their gap up to Adams. I mean, they're entering the hairpin as Adams is heading into Degner 1. There's Hill in 5th. Milden has made his way through the pack very nicely to 4th, and he's pulled away from Hill by good margin. McEwen still ahead of Edwards as they go through Degner 2 up towards the hairpin. Lap 16, we are 2/3 of the way through this race. McEwen holding on for dear life. It's costing them time, but he does not want to give away this 7th place at any cost. See, track position can be king around Suzuka, but here comes Edwards. He's looking to the outside up towards 130R. Gonna try and force McEwen on that tighter line to just slow him up through the apex. And yes, it's worked. McEwen's run wide. He's kept the foot in though. Side by side through the chicane, and Edwards finally gets his man. But that's a good launch out of the chicane, and McEwen could be back for more. Pulling alongside the McLaren down the main straight towards turn 1. Edwards should be able to fend this off. Yes, he does. The number 52 McLaren keeps hold of that 7th place for now. But when will McEwen pit? That is the big question, because those tyres are looking knackered. And I fully expect, I mean, he's been doing 2:01s the last few laps. I'm fully expecting Edwards to just eke a gap to the Alpha here. It's almost like McEwen just trying to stretch it as long as he can, so that he's only got one more stop to make. And potentially with very minimal fuel to go in the car. That was Hancock's in the background. He just made a slight mistake getting on the AstroTurf on the outside. Loses him 2 places. He's now outside the top 10. And you can see, oh, that's Hardy. He's gone in deep into the hairpin. Has lost him a fair chunk of time and places as Hogan now gets into the top 10 in the GoPro Mazda, followed by his teammate of Hancock's. Here on lap number 17. As we thought, Edwards has started to build the gap to McEwen. Liam really not having the best of times right now in 8th place. He knows that car is quicker, so he's going to be disappointed at this stage of the race. And yes, he finally comes into the pits on lap 17, along with Jay Hill. Jay Hill is in the pits now. Let's just follow him out of the pit, see where he comes into the fray. Was on mediums. What's he going back out on? He goes out on another set of mediums. He's out in 8th place, just behind Hardy. But interesting strategy call here from Jake Hill. No, he's not a medium, sorry, he's now just changed to super soft. So he's looking to do the rest of the race here on the super soft tyre. Either that or he's going to do 2 really small stints, which is an option. It is an option. Sean Cool has also come in. He's gone to the medium tyre for his final stint, so looking to clear that at the end. He's got Adams just ahead of him, but in order to try and beat Tompkinson, Tompkinson's going to be coming in the pits very shortly, either this lap or next. He's already done his stint on mediums now. I think this is going to be a hard one to pull off for Sean Cool. Yeah, Tompkinson dives in the pits, so was the undercut worth it for Cool? He's coming a lap earlier. Here comes Adams. Jake Hill currently in 7th. And Tompkinson's out in 2nd place. He's on the super soft though. This just makes things interesting here as we have the final 5 laps to go. Milden in 4th, just behind Adams. This is going to get tasty near the end of the race. Milden on softs, Adam on super softs. Rob Adams had a good qualifying in pole position. He's trying to get that GTR round. Through Spoon Curve they go. Up the front, and Tompkinson is closing the gap on the leader. The number 14 Mercedes of Sean Cool is going to become under pressure from his own teammate, and this time the gloves will be off. No more helping your teammate. They've built a massive gap, and immediately you see that as Cool Tompkinson around the outside of turn 1. That's a phenomenal move. Cool held the inside to defend it, just had almost no confidence in the car turning in. Tomkinson on those fresh super soft tyres just went, yeah, I've got the grip, I'm going through, and that'll be the last call sees of Tomkinson for the rest of this race. Hill just going through the S's. In 5th place, number 24 car on his own. Edwards has managed to get himself up into 6th place ahead of McEwen and Bristow. Bristow's had a bit of a poor stint here on lap number 20. He finds himself up in 8th place. Remember, he was running up around the 4th area earlier in the race, but has just dropped back here. So Friedman in 9th. Tomkinson getting away. Adams trying to hold back Milden. As they head through the chicane. Now in theory Adams should be quicker, but his tyres will wear out. The soft tyre very, very good with grip for a bit longer than the super softs. Meanwhile, Bristow's past McEwen and he's on the back of Edwards, coming onto the main straight. On to lap 21 of 24. The Alfa Romeo looking to go around the outside of turn 1 on the super soft tyres. Can't get the move done made. Has to sit in behind still as they head through the S's once again. McLaren just sliding around after going on the curb. This is now for a top 5 place because Jake Hill, where is Jake Hill? There he is. He's down in 9th place. He's come back in, so he's gone for 2 short stints on the super soft tyres. He's gone for a very aggressive strategy for the end. He thinks he's going to make up the time to get back up into 5th place. Friedman is his first opponent on track though. And look at the grip Hill has compared to Friedman. Adams is gapping Milden just a touch. Meanwhile, Edwards still hanging on to 5th place. So they head up the hill towards 130R. And here comes Hill. Down the inside of Friedman through 130R. The grip there, the confidence in the car. He should complete this into the chicane, although Friedman not going down quietly, looking around the outside of the chicane, can't get the move done. And Hill up into 8th. He's got 3 more positions to get back to that 5th place. Which is currently being held by Edwards in the number 52 machine. See them weaving through the S's, up towards Dunlop Curve, through Degner 1 and 2 we go now. for 5th. McEwen has gone. Hill into 7th now. Has McEwen... Yeah, McEwen's just made a mistake somewhere. He's down to 9th. Bit of a shame for him, but it now means Hill has a clear track ahead of him to go after Bob Bristow in the number 48 Alfa Romeo. He's got 2 more laps after this to try and get him. And looking at the track map, you see in the top right, a battle is beginning to form between Adams and Milden. Milden setting his personal best lap of the session, a 158.9. Adams a 159.9, so he is going slower than the Porsche. His super soft starting to hit the cliff as we head near the end of this race. Lap 23 of 24, the penultimate lap we are on. And Milden is all over the back of that Nissan. Going to try and keep an eye on both these battles because Hill trying to fight his way back through the pack. On board with Milden, looking at Adams ahead of us. Through Degner 1. Just see Milden letting the car roll through the corner. Just dropped off the back, but Hill is fast approaching Bristow. Through Degner 1 into Degner 2. And Bristow doesn't get the run he needs. He was all over the AstroTurf for this left-hand side of the car. Hill makes the move down the inside through the fast right, but Bristow's not going to give this one up too easy. Sends it straight back down the inside, trying to keep this position. But Hill's going to have the grip on those fresh super softs compared to Bristow's worn. Hill up to 6th. He's got one more lap then to get up to the back of Edwards and overtake for the top 5 place he was in. Meanwhile, Adams has Milden all over his tail as we head into the chicane for the penultimate time. Down to the main straight, cross the line. Adams only a 201.0. He is struggling on those tyres. But Milden obviously had 2 minutes because he's stuck behind the Nissan as they head through to turn 1. Oh, and that Nissan is struggling on the rear end now. Trying to lay the power down, it's just having none of it through turn 2. Through the S's we go. You can just hear how much that Nissan is struggling. And Hill is all over the back of Edwards, going through the S's. So we're going to just flick between these two battles because this is looking good. Through the Dunlop curve for Hill and Edwards. Oh, it looked like Hill was going to look for a move down towards Degner 1. Can't quite make the move. Through Degner 1 towards Degner 2. Adams, however, on still in 3rd place. Hill's made the move. He's managed to do in the same place as Bristow out of Degner 2. Looks like Edwards maybe just ran a bit wide. Hill's got the traction round the outside of the hairpin. And Jake Hill finds himself back in the top 5. Milden and Adams can't get closer than this. And they're going to be side by side. We're going to miss the winner because the winner's going to be Nathan Tompkinson. He finishes in 1st. They're side by side with Sean Corwin 2nd. And Milden's going to get 3rd. A brave move round the outside of the chicane from the Porsche man. Seals that podium place. Rob Adams comes home in 4th. Jake Hill, an aggressive final 2-stint strategy sees him secure 5th place. With Edwards in 6th. Bristow 7th, Friedman in 8th, McEwen will be in 9th, so he gets rid of his penalty. Piper, haven't seen much of him, he's in 10th, followed by Hancock's. Jordan Hogan in 12th, Dean will be 13th. And Jay Hardy will be 14th, with Brian Ross finishing out in 15th place.